Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm changing my gift goal. That's an old gift goal. We don't need that anymore. Good morning. It is non-believers Bible study. It wasn't actually Bible verses, I would say. It was a series of things. It wasn't Bible verses as much as historicity, understanding basic science, things like that. Anyway, if you are friendly and you want to come up and be on the panel this morning for non-believers Bible study, I'm agnostic with an I, I-G-N-O-S-T-I-C. If you would like to come up and be on the panel for non-believers Bible study, we are in Exodus 27 this morning. So we're going to be going through, and I guess I should share this out to all my really smart people so they come in and help us with Bible study this morning. You know what I'm saying? Let's send it, make sure to few of our favorite smarty pantses in the world. Make sure that they all see it. And maybe some of them will come up and share their thoughts with us this morning. Good morning, M's. Good morning, Tahir. Good morning, Els. Good morning, Eli. I didn't put any makeup on this morning. I couldn't do it. I was tired. I'm having a little iced coffee. Hi, Seth. We have been with one car for 4 adults since like COVID, I guess, probably, maybe longer. I don't know. Anyway, we had to go out and get a car this week, and we've been saving up for a down payment. We finally had the down payment together, had all our ducks in a row, and had to go out shopping for a car this weekend, and that was exhausting. It's not that I'm reading the Bible for fun. It's for understanding. Since my country loves to write laws based on this book, I think it's important that we all know what is in this book. Yes, we did land on one. We got a 2025 Prius Limited. We got a really good deal on it. I negotiated the hell out of the deal. I negotiated so good that the dealership is actually mad at me and treated us like shit. And that's just the truth. They did not like the deal I got on that car. But I do. I like the deal I got on the car, and I don't care if they don't like me because I never have to deal with them again. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to be my service center. It's in a town not anywhere near me, so. But it's a really pretty little Prius. I never thought I would own a Prius because, you know, I can make fun of Prius drivers now, right? Because I am a Prius driver, right? So Prius drivers always seem like they're a-holes in California anyway. I don't know about anywhere else. So I used to call him Prickus owner. And by the way, my uncle owned a Prius, and I always said this to him too. And he thought it was hilarious. And now I own a Prickus. That's funny. And if I was still a Christian, I would tell you that God made me do this because I was so stupid. Good morning, AK. Where is Nick Graves? Where's DC? Where are all my Bible study people who get mad at me when I cancel Bible study? Where are they all? There's DC. I'm going to make sure these two get it. Y'all, if you're friendly, don't leave me up here alone. I don't like doing solo Bible study. So somebody come up and sit with me and talk to me. Where's Benny at? Where's Benny? Where's all my regulars? AK, thank you for coming up. I hate being alone.
I get that. Hello, my love. I'm finally home.
Yay! For some reason, my Bluetooth isn't on. Hang on one second. Trying to connect it. I think I'm going to have to do this and then do it again. Come on, turn on little headphones. Okay, got it. Oh, now I can hear you.
DoorDash,
finally home.
How did you get Darth banned? I need details on this. Get your ass up here. I don't even know who DoorDash Malene is, but I like you already.
Well, Darth got a new account. Did you get the new one, Banana? Or is it a different, and try to say banana in here because TikTok doesn't like us talking about, but not just you, DoorDash needs to say it in chat too. We got to say banana.
He came up, Darth came in when Deborah had a live going, and it was me, Deborah, and Hanji. And this dude, one of his little followers, had tried to Philbro his way through Hanji and Deborah, and so he ended up getting kicked, and all of a sudden Darth comes in and he joins the panel and immediately starts like touting what he is gonna do, what he's not gonna do, what this panel's gonna do, what this panel's not gonna do. He didn't even last 2 minutes. It was hilarious.
Manar wants to come up. Manure. This is Non-Believers Bible Study. It's not a debate forum. Hey, Bar, how are you? So I don't bring opposition up. So, but I will tell you what, let's see, it's Wednesday. Justin will be live at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So Manure, you could try going on Justin's live again. I'm sure he'd love to have you. And tomorrow night, Joyful Apostate will be live at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And if you'd like to go up against him, you could as well.
Christina's live right now. So if he wants to go debate, he could go to Christina.
And Christina Carroll is live right now. Go on there. Go over there. That's a good place for you. Hey, Tad, how are you?
Oh, surviving, doing well. It's been a while.
Doing good. What you doing right now? Are you working somewhere?
Yeah, I left a province and in a different province near the Rockies, working. I've been working in a lodge for the past 2 weeks now.
Oh, cool.
So finally back to work, but on days off now, so I figured I could jump in and join Bible study, seeing I haven't been here for like a month.
Well, we didn't do it last week, so you didn't miss anything then. So you've only missed a few, or maybe even only one, because for a while I was doing it almost like every other week, and that's why we're still in Exodus. Bar, if you want to come up and sit up here and talk the Bible with us, we're just going to be reading through. We're starting at Exodus 27 today, you all, and let's see, 28 looks good, 29. We probably can get to 31 or 32 today. Oh, you had birria tacos. Oh my God, I'm so jealous. And you came in here knowing I would be jealous. Oh my goodness. Hey, Shelly Billy.
They're trying to plant seeds of evil. No, I'm just kidding.
I was just listening. Were you listening to Christina Carroll's live, AK?
Yes, I was. Which one are we
The
talking
guy
about?
saying that we can't have joy because we're not Christians.
Yes!
And then he goes, well, you can't prove that I don't have joy. Dude, you can't prove we don't have joy. What are you talking about? Well, I'm glad. Barb, every time I eat a burrito taco, I'm going to think of you too. Jason, good morning. How are you today? Yeah, that guy was wild. He's been in our lives before. I don't know whether it was on Joyfuls or whose. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the first time I've seen him around. Maybe African Atheist or something like that. I've been on a panel for sure with him before because that PFP is just so punchable, if you know what I mean.
Kind of like J.D. Vance's face.
Right, exactly.
Seriously, I can't be the only one that thinks this. Every time I see J.D. Vance, like, he literally has the most punchable face I've ever seen in my life.
Like, I was kind of hoping the Pope just did it. Like,
just a nice little throat punch.
Just like, oh, well, he's looking over and then boom. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I do that? What?
At least the Pope did it with his words.
Oh, Bar, we need a t-shirt I'm going to make a t-shirt that says atheism and tacos make the world a better place. Hell yes. That is true for sure.
And have
have
a marijuana leaf in the background as a prop.
Yes. Chicken pot pie, my 3 favorite things. All right, cool, Tahir. I will totally make it. Okay, I'll do a hoodie too. Oh, you guys cannot let me forget. Okay, I gotta actually screenshot it so I won't forget because I'll look at my pictures later and I'll go, oh yeah, what was I gonna do? Hey, Google. That's all I wanted. For sure, I'm going to do that. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. If you're friendly and you want to come up and talk the Bible with us this morning, please feel free to join. If you are going to stay in chat, make sure you tap the screen. Do me a favor, get me to 5,000 likes and 100 shares as quickly as possible. The fastest way to do those shares, hold down your finger on my face. A bunch of names will come up. Just hit send. If you do that, I should see a bunch of send in the chats, okay? Okay, cool, Bar. That would be awesome. Also, just do all the good stuff. And make sure that you gift my panel. Send them up a rose or two. Like spread your gifts out a little bit here and there because that keeps TikTok thinking, oh, we are still getting gifts, and send them up a rose every once in a while, all right? Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to go ahead and start reading in 27. Hopefully others will join us along the way. Any friendlies can come up. So, if you just want to sit up here and get, you can just come up and sit. Really. No, I'm a non-believer. Lena.
I just busted out the Oxford annotated from 1962.
Yay! Okay, don't forget, I also have, if we have questions, I have my iPad here. I can look up stuff, okay? And then I have the Jewish Study Bible, too, so that we can look up commentary and so forth. Oh, good. Part of Good Atheist is joining us. Hey, good morning.
Good morning, lovelies. I'm feeling a little under the weather, but I would like to sit during our non-belief Bible study.
Okay, awesome.
Girl, you dog walked that dude yesterday.
AK, you are such a sweetie. And yeah.
That was even while you were sick. You were literally just dog walking this dude. It was glorious. And she dog walked the entire comment section also. It was
You're
great.
So nice.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't have a voice. I don't know how I got through that, but you're so sweet. You're just being too nice. But
Nah.
I don't think so. I've watched you cook. I'm sure it must have been glorious.
It was glorious.
Let's do this. Where are we at today?
We are in Exodus 27. Please feel free to, I usually read a paragraph and then we stop to talk about it, ask questions. I can look things up. We could do whatever we need to do. Okay. All right, here we go.
Sorry, Exodus what? I apologize.
Exodus 27, verse 1,
Oh,
obviously.
okay, gotcha.
Okay. All right, here we go. You shall make the altar of acacia wood 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The altar shall be square, and it shall be 3 cubits high. You shall make horns for it on its 4 corners. Its horns shall be of one piece with it, and you shall overlay it with bronze. You shall make pots for it to receive its ashes, and shovels and basins and forks and fire pans. You shall make all its utensils of bronze. You shall also make for it grating, a network of bronze, and on the net you shall make 4 bronze rings at its 4 corners. You shall set it under the ledge of the altar so that the next shall extend halfway down the altar. You shall make poles for the altar, poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with bronze. The poles shall be put through the rings so that the poles shall be on the 2 sides of the altar when it is carried. You shall make it hollow with boards. They shall be made just as you were shown on the mountain. Okay, I have a little bit of commentary here. I don't know how many of you have been grown up around engineers or anything like that, but my dad was an engineer and my husband was an engineer. And all I see is some man who made plans for something and is like, this is how we're going to make it, okay? Like, I worked on these plans all night.
He comes in with handmade schematics.
Yeah, exactly.
These ones.
This is what we're doing here. I don't need any input, okay? I already worked on this. I know what I'm doing.
None of the lines
the way
were
they are.
straight. None of the lines were straight.
Oh, no. That is not what I wanted. Hang on one second, guys. I screwed something up here. Okay, let me try again. I was trying to bring up my live on YouTube. Did I get it started? No, I didn't. Hang on one second, you guys. I forgot to start the live. And I kind of need that.
Crystal, are you using OBS?
Yes. And
Okay, 'cause I wanted to connect to my YouTube as well, so I was curious.
All right. Now, just switch this over to this and then turn OBS on. Okay. All right. I'm probably going to reread that for YouTube. Okay, you guys, sorry about that. Let me reread that paragraph real quick. YouTube is joining, and when people play it back, they'll be able to see it. We are, for YouTube's purposes, we are in chapter 27 of Exodus. I'm going to read the first paragraph over because I had forgot to start the YouTube altogether. Because I always screw up YouTube. All right. You shall make the altar of acacia wood 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The altar shall be square, and it shall be 3 cubits high. You shall make horns for it on its 4 corners. Its horns shall be of one piece with it, and you shall overlay it with bronze. You shall make pots for it to receive its ashes, and shovels and basins and forks and fire pans. You shall make all its utensils of bronze. You shall also make for it grating, a network of bronze, and on the net you shall make 4 bronze rings. At its 4 corners you shall set it under the ledge of the altar so that the net shall extend halfway down the altar. You shall make poles of the altar, poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with bronze. The pole shall be put through the ring so that the pole shall be on the 2 sides of the altars when it is carried. You shall make it hollow with boards. They shall be made just as you were shown on the mountain. Okay, this is the altar of burnt offerings that they're talking about right here.
Notice none of it involved iron.
True. That's true. None of it involves iron. I don't know. I just think like it just seems like God is pretty extra. You know what I mean? Like he has to be this way and that way. I don't know. If I was a God, I think I would just be like, you don't need to burn offerings to me. Just talk to me. I don't know why he needs so much. Anybody have any questions, commentary, or anything on that first paragraph?
All of his requests just are so high maintenance.
Right?
It's just wild.
It really is.
Exactly.
He is a needy little god. You guys, I have a flash goal right now of the pink puff hearts. I need 11 different people to send me one coin heart each. So if you can, send me up a heart. Let's hit that little flash goal. Okay, the court and its hangings. You shall make the court of the tabernacle. On the south side, the court shall have hangings of fine twisted linen, 100 cubits long for that side. Its 20 pillars and their 20 bases shall be of bronze, but the hooks of the pillars and their bands shall be of silver. Likewise, for its length and north side there shall be hangings 100 cubits long, their pillars 20 and their bases 20 of bronze, but the hooks of the pillars and their bands shall be of silver. For the width of the court on the west side, there shall be 50 cubits of hangings with 10 pillars and 10 bases. The width of the courts on the front to the east shall be 50 cubits. There shall be 15 cubits of hangings on the one side with 3 pillars and 3 bases. There shall be 15 cubits of hanging on the other side with 3 pillars and 3 bases. For the gate of the court there shall be a screen 20 cubits long, of blue, purple, and crimson yarns, and the fine twisted linen embroidered with needlework. It shall have 4 pillars, and with them 4 bases. All the pillars around the court shall be banded with silver. Their hooks shall be of silver, and their bases of bronze. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, the width 50, and the height 5 cubits, with hangings of fine twisted linen and bases of bronze. All the utensils of the tabernacle for every use, and all its pegs, and all the pegs of the court shall be of bronze. I'm gonna just for the fun of it look in our Jewish study Bible and see if there's anything significant that we really need to know here other than God is bougie. Yahweh is bougie AF. Okay, 27 is where we're at, right?
The way he manages, he's the old school Kris Kardashian.
Yes. Yes, for real. Is there anything important here? The main contents of the tabernacle and then the tabernacle structure. The text now describes the most important objects placed in the courtyard, the altar, and then the courtyard itself. Since all of this is outside the tabernacle structure, it is mostly made of less precious materials. That makes sense. Less precious materials. The altar, its utensils, and the posts and sockets supporting the courtyard were all made of bronze and bronzed wood, and the hangings were made of fine twisted linen. This is just a boring chapter. I don't think we're gonna get anything. Horned altars have been found by archaeologists at several sites in Israel and elsewhere. They are an essential part of the altar. The blood of the sin offering is daubed on them, and those seeking asylum at the altar would grasp them. Their significance is not known, though. Unlike the case of the incense altar, no top is mentioned here. Okay, that's kind of interesting that they did find a lot with horns and stuff, but they don't know the significance. So it's not going to help us to look because I don't know the significance either. All right, any questions, commentary, or anything there? If not, I'm moving on.
No, there's just a lot of questions in the comments about why we're doing this. And it's because it's good to know this kind of information. Yes.
Yeah, I think that if laws in my country are going to be based on this ancient mythological book, I should know about it.
Period.
I think that people who question why other people educate themselves need to ask themselves, why don't they educate themselves?
Because remember, too much knowledge.
I agree.
Is mad, according to my pastor mother.
Oh my God. That is so true.
Viking, it's a
Yeah,
code.
my patriarchal father got mad that I went to college, so I get that.
Right? They
My
don't like that.
Yeah, my dad's a pastor, non-denominational. My parents are convinced that me going to college is what made me, as they quote, a liberal.
Oh my god.
Okay, wait.
Probably did, honestly.
You guys want to hear a funny story? When my son was going off to college, remember, I'm devout right-wing conservative Christian, okay? When he's going off to college. And he is super smart. Like, I'm not saying that just as, because I'm his mom, okay? I'm saying that because, like, it's annoying, actually, how smart he is. And so I knew he could get in, like, anywhere. Like, he was going to be fine. He'd get in anywhere. But I definitely did not want him going to any of the colleges out in California. I grew up in California. We lived in Kansas at the time, okay? And I was like, because he'll become like left wing, and he'll become an atheist and stuff, right? So I really, really pushed for him to go to MIT, okay? And he did. He went to MIT. And then he came home an atheist. So whatever, But
Yes.
that helped my journey for sure. So it was a good thing for sure.
Oh.
Okay, the oil of the lamp. And then maybe we can get out of this boring story about how to build stupid shit. Okay. You shall further command the Israelites to bring you pure oil of beaten olives for the light, so that a lamp may be set up to burn regularly. In the tent of meeting outside the curtain that is before the covenant, Aaron and his sons shall tend it from evening to morning before the Lord. It shall be a perpetual ordinance to be observed throughout their generations by the Israelites. Okay, anything that you want me to look up there? Any comments or questions on that paragraph? If not, we're going to move on to 28.
Keep on
All
rolling.
right. Okay, we're going to roll on here. Thank you for the heart me's. You guys, I need 6 more of the pink heart puffs. I need 6 different people to send a heart puff. If you can, please send it up. It's only 1 coin. All right, vestments for the priesthood. Then bring near you your brother Aaron and his sons with him from among the Israelites to serve me as priests. Aaron and Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar, you shall make sacred vestments for the glorious adornment of your brother Aaron, and you shall speak to all who have ability, whom I have endowed with skill, that they make Aaron's vestments to consecrate him for my priesthood. These are the vestments that they shall make: a breastplate, an ephod, a robe, a checkered tunic, a turban, and a sash. When they make these sacred vestments for your brother Aaron and his sons to serve me as priests, they shall use gold, blue, purple, and crimson yarns and fine linen. Okay, for me personally, hey Fee, how are you today? Hi Spicy Phoenix. Hi August. For me, when I read a verse like this and they're saying God said, I want you to make all of this like this, I think this shows that it's obviously man, because what would an all-powerful, all-loving, all the alls, God give a shit with what color thread you're using? You know what I mean? Like, anybody?
Well, that's when it really starts to sound man-made. When you start getting into the Swedish, it really starts to sound like, oh, it's just a bunch of dudes that wrote this freaking book. That's why it has all this weird stuff that literally, doesn't matter, and it doesn't make any sense. He's the god of the universe, and he created all colors. Why the hell would he care? It's not that big. I think it just, when you start to read it, you're like, yeah, this makes more sense than a bunch of dudes wrote this.
For sure, it really does. And as a parent, when I picture the parent role, because it's the only role I can like equate to what a God is, because he himself equates himself to the Father, right? And when you're a Christian, that's the way you equate him already, as you're like a holy father, right? So as a mother, when I would ask my kids like to sit down and draw or create something, right? I didn't give a shit what color they used. I didn't no, I want you to draw a house this color. No, actually I really hated if people put those kind of restraints on children, because then you are restraining their creativity when you do that. You guys, right now, you'll hear noise in the background. It is latte time. So if anybody wants a latte, let Jessie know. I'll have her make them every Wednesday about this time. You all hear Jessie make her latte. So
we just need one person to send one pink heart puff, and then Crystal hits her goal, and it has to be within 2 minutes. So we just need one. It's one coin, just one pink heart puff. If you have not sent it, we just need one new person.
Okay.
Yay! Or did it go?
Yay! Thank you, Keith. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay. The ephod. They shall make the ephod. Does anybody know what an ephod is? I can look that up because I don't know what an ephod is, to be honest with you. Define ephod. A sleeveless garment worn by Jewish priests. Okay, so now at least we'll know what the hell they're making. That's pointless again. Okay. They shall make the ephod of gold, of blue, purple, and crimson yarns, and of fine twisted linen, skillfully worked. It shall have 2 shoulder pieces attached to its 2 edges, so that it may be joined together. The decorated band on it shall be the same workmanship and materials of gold, of blue, purple, and crimson yarns, and of fine twisted linen. You shall take 2 onyx stones and engrave on them the names of the sons of Israel, 6 of their names on the one stone, and the names of the remaining 6 on the other stone, in the order of their birth. As a gem cutter engraves signets, so you shall engrave the 2 stones with the names of the sons of Israel. You shall mount them in settings of gold filigree. You shall set the 2 stones on the shoulder pieces of the ephod as stones of remembrance for the sons of Israel. And Aaron shall bear their names before the Lord on his 2 shoulders for remembrance. You shall make settings of gold filigree and 2 chains of pure gold twisted like cords, and you shall attach the corded chains to the settings.
Hold on. That
Okay.
heart puff didn't go through. We have 20 seconds. Somebody send one heart puff that hasn't sent it yet. We have 14 seconds. For some reason, it didn't go through. Come on, 10 seconds.
You might have sent one before.
One random person who hasn't sent a heart puff.
Somebody sent a pink heart puff. 2 seconds. Oh, well. Thank you for trying.
Dang it!
Thank you for trying, everybody. Thank you for the heart.
Tried, but I think they had already sent some, so it didn't count. Oh.
Yeah, it happens. Like they wait too long to send you the flash goal sometimes, and everybody's already sent you gifts, so it kind of sucks. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate you. Listen, on this, all I want to say is that whenever I hear verses where God is having them do something, or God does something, because it's sometimes him, in remembrance, all I can think of is God has a horrible memory. He always has to have little things to remind him stuff. It's worse than mine.
That's
like he couldn't remember that the
You can
ark
see the
was out.
concept dementia as it goes through the Bible, and it just gets worse and worse and worse through each
I have
book.
bad memory at my age, right? And I'm thinking, God, like what? You have horrible memory. He forgot the ark was out there because he said, oh yeah, and then he remembered the ark was out there. And I'm like, how do you forget? You're flooding the whole earth. How did you have to go, oh yeah, the ark is out there. And then he had to put a rainbow in the sky to remind himself not to do this again.
That's fucking funny.
Right? Like he had to tie a red string around his finger, like, oh yeah, I can't flood the earth again. Don't forget,
That's
And
so
now we're doing this in remembrance too, because we might forget who our 12 tribes are or something.
God damn. That's so funny.
Yeah, it's tough being an all-knowing God zombified. It's just tough. I do know that this breastplate we are going to read about, Christians like to claim that that one of the reasons, like, they can prove that the Bible is real has something to do with the stones in this breastplate. Okay, it has something to do with the fact that they found all these stones somewhere or something. And they're like, isn't it amazing they found those exact stones? But the thing is that where they found those stones, that these stones are really common. So yeah, of course they
Yeah.
would find these stones.
Let me guess.
So-
Ron White found those stones.
Yeah, yes, I think so, AK. I don't remember. But just so when you're out on the mean TikTok streets, you know, this breastplate comes up out there because they're like, that's proof. Nah. Okay, here we go. Verse 15. You shall make a breastplate of judgment in skilled work. You shall make it in the style of the ephod of gold, of blue, and purple, and crimson yarns. And fine twisted linen you shall make it. Before I go any further, I used to always, I knew that purple was like one of God's colors. So like I always wanted my master bedroom to be purple because I was like, see, we're royalty.
I love that.
We're weird as Christians. I just want to tell you.
I'm so obsessed with that.
Yay, Rabbi's here. Hey, Rabbi, before we go any
God's an
further,
interior direct.
How are you?
I was just gonna say, great, good to see you. I was just gonna say, God's an interior decorator.
Yes, he really is. Hey, Granny. So before we go any further, we are in chapter 28, but we went through chapter 27. Is there anything you wanted to tell us about chapter 27?
Give me the synopsis, just to give me a little
Okay,
context.
it's the altar of burnt offering, the court and its hangings, and the oil for the lamp.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's at the end of this kind of sequence when everything is closed up. Sorry, I'm out on a walk. When everything is kind of closed up, there's a moment where Moses does the accounting of all the things, and it says like 1,775 shekels of silver were used for the hooks, and it repeats it twice. And there's a lovely little midrash about it that I don't know if it's interesting to people, but like it's like a moment where Moses realizes that he thinks that he's lost 1,775 shekels of silver, but in reality they were in the hooks, and he like fell on his face as he usually does, and looks up and sees the silver up there above. I don't know if that's helpful at all. Interesting.
I like these stories though. I like hearing the stories of the actual people instead of made up stories from Christians. Like if that
Well, they're still made
means
up. I
anything.
mean, it's just us
But
making them up.
they're made up by the people, not other people. Okay. All right. So we just went through vestments for the priesthood, the ephod, and we're headed off into the breastplate now. Okay. So you stop me if you have anything you want to add. Good morning, Spicy. Thanks for coming up. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good, Crystal. How are you?
Doing good. Did you have anything you wanted to add yet, or questions or anything so far?
No, I'm just listening in while I get ready for my class at set 4.
Spicy.
Alrighty.
Hi.
Alrighty. On to the breastplate. Okay, you shall make a breastplate of judgment in skilled work. You shall make it in the style of the ephod of gold, of blue, and purple, and crimson yarns, and of fine twisted linen you shall make it. It shall be squared and doubled, a span in the length and a span in the width. You shall set it in 4 rows of stones. A row of carnelian, these are the stones I'm telling you about. Chrysolite and emerald shall be the first row. And the second row, a turquoise, a sapphire, and a moonstone. And the third row, is it jacinth? I don't know. An agate and an amethyst. And the fourth row, a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold filigree. There shall be 12 stones with names corresponding to the names of the sons of Israel. They shall be like signets, each engraved with its name for the 12 tribes. You shall make for the breastplate piece chains of pure gold twisted like cords, and you shall make for the breastpiece 2 rings of gold, and put the 2 rings on the 2 edges of the breastpiece. You shall put the 2 cords of gold in the 2 rings at the edges of the breastpiece. The 2 ends of the 2 cords you shall attach to the 2 settings, and so attach it to the front of the shoulder pieces of the ephod. You shall make 2 rings of gold and put them at the 2 ends of the breastpiece. On its inside edge next to the ephod, you shall make 2 rings of gold and attach them in front to the lower part of the 2 shoulder pieces of the ephod at its joining above the decorated band of the ephod. The breastpiece shall be bound by its rings to the rings of the ephod with a blue cord, so that it may lie on the decorated band of the ephod, and so that the breastpiece shall not come loose from the ephod. So Aaron shall bear the names of the sons of Israel in the breastpiece of judgment on his heart when he goes into the holy place for a continual remembrance before the Lord. In the breastpiece of judgment you shall put the Urim and the Thummim. I don't know how to say that word. The Urim and the
Tumim.
Tumim.
The Urim
Okay,
and
thank
Tumim.
you. Urim and Tumim. Okay. And they shall be on Aaron's heart when he goes in before the Lord. Thus Aaron shall bear the judgment of the Israelites on his heart before the Lord continually. Okay, questions, commentary, or what
I
have you?
just have to point out that Zombified made one of the funniest statements I've ever seen. It says complicated ass IKEA furniture.
That's great. That's
Hilarious. I saw that.
W comment. W comment.
Yeah, the high priest is essentially the sacrifice of Israel. It's like the ultimate sacrifice of Israel. And like he's being sent in to the nuclear reactor on behalf of everybody else. And so, like, by carrying the stones on his chest, they've literally cast their lots upon him. That's kind of the imagery that's supposed to be. So if
You
he's,
know what?
if he's like the. Mhm. Sorry. Yep. Sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead, Rabbi.
Well, just to say that, like, I think, sacrificial imagery is just it's like the whole thing. It's all totemistic in their relationship to their immediate surroundings. Like, that's what it's really all about. It's less fun and funny than just kind of trying to give the, whatever it is.
As I was reading it, I was thinking I need to now go listen to Joel Reed's Bible's version of this, because I want to know how he takes these boring chapters and makes them fun and funny, because he does. And I want to now go listen and go, how did he do it on this one? I wonder.
I think you're doing a really hilarious job, Crystal.
Okay, thank you.
You're making it very entertaining.
I think so too.
Truly.
So.
I have asked Joel, I think it would be an amazing thing to like write a book with him, to do like a side-by-side, the Jewish commentary and Joel's commentary, because first of all, him reading it with fresh eyes is so good and so entertaining. And then also, like, there's a lot of time when he lines up with the Jewish interpretations of things, and he like is so surprised by like, this thing, and it's like, yeah, so are we, it's like,
that's cool.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Els said in chat, and I really want to bring this up, why do Christians demonize crystals when God wanted them all over this breastplate, or this all over the place?
Real.
So, right? They're always like, crystals are evil. And God is like, nah, I want some amethyst. I want some onyx. I want,
Just make sure there's no iron.
And by the way, that's exactly what is happening. The Urim and the Thummim are these like little stone divining pieces that are tucked inside of the ephod, that are tucked inside of the breastplate. Like these are like it's 100% like sorcery. I think any like traditional Jewish person would get upset with me saying that, but like it's very clearly a like divining by no other name. That's what is happening.
Yeah, for sure.
This brings up, like, did any of you have the board game, like, Putting on the Armor of God? And, like, it was a board game as a kid. I shit you not. And you had to put on the breastplate of righteousness.
Stop.
I made my son wear that for Halloween costume.
To ward off people.
No, just like it was.
Oh shit! That's so fucking funny.
My mom thought there was something wrong with me because I always wanted the sword. The sword of truth. It was the sword of truth, but it was like, oh my god, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Christian Crystal was such a weirdo.
Okay.
Well, you gotta respect Christian Crystal because she did the merch. She did it all. Like she was not playing.
That's true.
She did not have to yet. That's so funny.
That's true.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Oh, my poor kids. Like, luckily they all turned out okay, and none of them are Christians now. So that's.
I can't. But well, you know what? It probably because you made them dress up for Halloween. So there you go.
Hey, I have a Mormon child, and let me tell you, that is not easy, to be very honest. It is not. He hasn't talked to me in almost 5 years because of my being one of those people. So, yeah, it's not fun when religion gets in the way.
It's not fun, and it was really hard at first. Spicy. No, you're fine. It was hard for us at first. It was. Because imagine that I was the Christian pushing all of them to be Christian. I was the one making them do all this stuff. And now I'm like, yeah. And now I don't believe anymore. And they're like, what the hell? Like, what are you talking about?
You are our inspiration, though, for all of our Fox News parents that got brainwashed. We look up to you.
Well, good, because I was a Fox News parent. So I want you guys to know that. I was Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh. That was in my house.
Oh my gosh. I grew up with them.
You got deprogrammed. What's your secret?
I did.
How did you get deprogrammed? I can't
deprogram my parents.
I can't get mine to deprogram either, born again. Let me tell you, I haven't spoke to my mom and dad since 2 days after the election because they voted for him.
Well, Spicy, we're in this together.
Yes, we are, born again.
I literally just had my mom last week. I had to have a conversation with her because, I mean, as you all know, I'm sick. And the possibility of me not being here very much longer is a very, very good possibility, which I'm at peace with. But my mom literally, I need you to hear me, Tara Cherie. I want to see you in heaven. Even if we're not neighbors, I would like to see you down the road and just wave at you. And you guys would be really proud of my response. I was like, yeah, well, I'm not down with Amber being next to me. And she's like, then you're going to be in heaven. I was like, don't worry, Mom. I already played my cards right. I was like, if you're going to be down there being tortured, I was like, I sold my soul so I can be the one to torture everybody. So I'm good.
Oh my God, that is amazing.
Oh my God.
I freaking love it.
Oh, AK, I hope you feel better soon, honestly. I hope everything resolves. Yeah, that's crazy. I just had my serious talk with my mom like 2 days ago, and I just said, this is like talking to a brick wall. I think I just have to come to peace that like this is not going to change, which is fine, you know.
It's very, very hard. So be kind to yourself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, that's so true. Do you ever I don't second guess deconstructing, leaving the religion. I never second guess that. The only thing I second guess is I miss the ignorance of and having the relationships, if that makes sense.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Very much so.
Well, to give you hope for your parents, I wish I could tell you that there was. I just talked about this with Joel and Joyful the other day. I don't know what made me different. I don't know. other than I feel that in my entire life, I literally was deconstructing the religion. I just didn't know that's what I was doing. I kept asking the questions the whole 40 plus years I believed or whatever. And,
I feel
and so
that.
what made me suddenly like go, for me it was my kids. It was my kids. And I'm so sorry that for whatever reason you don't have the impact with your parents that my kids had on me, but my kids are the three like smartest people I know. My husband, they're all so smart. And when they come to me and tell me things that I don't believe yet, it really puts a pause on my life, and it makes me want to research and understand what they're saying better. And because I trust them more than I trust anybody else in my life. And so if they say, you think this, Mom, but you are wrong about what you're thinking, I do go research what they're saying and find out if they're right and I'm wrong, because they wouldn't tell me it.
And you give them the security, though, to do that without being punished. And that's the difference.
Yes.
Because, like, for me, my dad flat out told me when I was an adult, he's like, you pissed me off so much and I punished you as a child because you proved me wrong and there was nothing I could do about it. And that was something that really, like, it stuck with me. And that's like when my kids call me out on something, I'm like, well played. And yeah, like, at least you were receptive, so good for you.
I was going to say you listen to your children, and that makes you a really good parent. And it also, you have empathy with your children. And instead of being so stuck in your own mindset, you listen to them, you hear them when they're telling you that something you're doing is wrong, or possibly, like for me, my biggest sticking point with my parents is that they chose somebody who is actively trying to erase who I am and take away my rights and whatnot over, for what? Supposedly egg prices dropping and gas dropping over your child. I called my daughter up and I said, listen, I will tell you that if anything I believe, or if any religion I'm in, or whatever the case may be, if something's hurting you, you need to tell me and I will stop immediately, because I love and care about you, and I will do anything I can to stand with and for you. Because I
and
don't
that
want
makes
to
you
do anything that hurts me.
a good parent too. See, like I think sometimes the things that hurt us as children helps us become better parents. And I'm not saying that that's okay to hurt children. That is not what that statement means. Okay,
It
means
didn't sound like
that. I say that for the stupid Christians who say, see, suffering is good. I hate that.
Suffering is not good.
No, it's not. The thing is that my parents didn't listen to me either. My parents actually would believe any adult over me. Now, let's let that sink in for just a minute here, what that means. Any adult over me. No matter what I was telling them that adult did. And because of that, it was really important to me that my children understood that they could question any adult, including me. That they had body autonomy. That if they didn't want me to hug, kiss them, or tickle them, or do anything like that, they had the right to say no.
I don't mind that too. It's very, very, very important.
It is. It's very important.
Yeah, so important. My dad used to hold me down and tickle me till I urinated. I would beg
Mine did it until I couldn't breathe.
Yeah, I would beg him to let me up, and then they would make fun of you because you urinated, and so now for me, being tickled is a trigger. If somebody tickles me, immediately I go red. Like immediately.
You're not alone.
I'm so sorry, AK. I'm so sorry. My dad did it one time until I accidentally kicked a chair and it hit a table. And then he just yelled at me like I was the most evil child ever because I couldn't breathe and I was flailing and I was
No
begging him to
control
stop.
over your body. Your body was like fighting for
Exactly.
its life. Jesus.
It was. And so the importance to me was, though, that if my children knew that they could question the main authority figure in their life, then they would feel secure in questioning any authority figure. And that was important to me.
Yes. Oh, and
so
changed too was making sure, like, my parents used to make me hug people all the time, or like let people kiss me or kiss on the cheeks and stuff. And that was one thing I'm like, absolutely.
Yes.
If you don't
Hated
even want to hug me, buddy, right now, that's cool. I get it. Like,
Hated it. I refused to make my children do that, and it used to piss my mother off so bad because she takes everything personal because she's a narcissist.
Bye, Rabbi. Thanks for dropping by.
Rabbi.
Just
come
love
back
you guys.
in.
I'm so sorry that people are so horrible and treat children this way. And I'm sorry. I just, it's horrific.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.
Love
and that's
you.
why we're here. We're breaking the cycle. It's a
That's
little
right.
but we're breaking those cycles.
Yes, the circle will be broken.
Yes. Yes, it will be broken. By and by, Lord, by and by. Thanks, Rob. Okay, we should get back to Bible study. We are on other priestly vestments. You shall make the robe of the ephod all of blue. It shall have an opening for the head in the middle of it, with a woven binding around the opening, like the opening in a coat of mail, so that it may not be torn. I think it's kind of funny that God had to tell him to put an opening for the head. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, on its lower hem you shall make pomegranates of blue, purple, and crimson yarns all around the lower hem, with bells of gold between them and around. A golden bell with a pomegranate alternating all around the lower hem of the robe. Aaron shall wear it when he ministers, and its sound shall be heard when he goes into the holy place before the Lord and when he comes out, so that he may not die. What?
When you
like,
said
if
that,
God can't hear you, he's gonna kill you.
All I could think of was biblical, like the Zoolander, like it's in the computer.
This is so
wild.
ridiculous. So God needs to hear you, not sneak up on him or something, I guess. He's not all knowing. If he has to hear you,
omnipotent and omnipresent.
Does he have a fight or flight mechanism? I need to know if God is fight or flight.
So in reality, God can't know if you enter the Holy of Holies unless you make noise. So he is not all knowing.
That's wild.
Like, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. God needs noise.
That's crazy.
It's funny how different my my notes are in my Bible now compared to when I was a Christian.
Right, Cam?
God is traumatized from someone, apparently. He is, Cam, for sure. Okay. Any questions or commentary other than that silliness on that part? All right, moving on. You shall make a rosette of pure gold and engrave on it, like the engraving of a signet, holy to the Lord. You shall fasten it on the turban with a blue cord. It shall be on the front of the turban. It shall be on Aaron's forehead. And Aaron shall take on himself any guilt incurred in the holy offering that the Israelites consecrate as their sacred donations. It shall always be on his forehead, in order that they may find favor before the Lord. What's going to be on this? Oh, that signet thing.
That's so a burden. Weird. That's a burden to bear. That's insane. He has to bear all of the, what was it?
All of the guilt incurred.
Yeah, that's wild.
So Aaron's kind of Jesus, right?
It kind of, I mean, It's an
Like,
interesting implication because he's carrying the guilt of the world, or well, it's the
right?
guilt of the
Of
guilt
his
of
people.
the guilt of his people.
That is wild. I know that there's a verse where God says that he made Aaron and Moses gods. Just saying. Spicy, I'm going to mute you while you tap, but thank you for tapping. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh, bye, Dagda. Have a good day. Thanks for coming up. Thanks for being here. Love you. All right. Any other questions or commentary on Aaron being Jesus? Okay. You shall make the checkered tunic of fine linen, and you shall make a turban of fine linen, and you shall make a sash embroidered with needlework. All right. For Aaron's sons, you shall make tunics and sashes and headdresses. You shall make them for their glorious adornment. You shall put them on your brother Aaron and on his sons with him, and shall anoint them and ordain them and consecrate them, so that they may serve me as priests. You shall make for them linen undergarments to cover their naked flesh. They shall reach for the hips to the thighs. Aaron and his sons shall wear them when they go into the tent of the meeting, or when they come near the altar to minister in the holy place, or they will bring guilt on themselves and die. This shall be a perpetual ordinance for him and his descendants after him. You're going to die if you don't wear what I tell you to wear. That's so ridiculous. But
God wasn't just an old school Versace going on here. I mean, good
this
Lord.
is wild.
Also,
The other
with
thing
the
it
dress,
reminds me of... Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Morgan.
no, you're good. I could barely talk, so I'm just gonna let you go.
I was just going to say, this reminds me of mega church pastors who have to wear, they'll even tell you, like, no, God wants me to wear designer clothes because he wants me to look appropriate, in church. And it's like, really, designer clothes are needed by God? He needed you to have a Rolex because you represent God? What? It's weird. Anything else?
Yeah, sorry, there's a plane flying over the top of me. Our pastor, like for me, if you're wearing True Religion and rock revivals and your shoes are basically more than what most people would eat in a month, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Right? I'll start unaliving the men because they wear the wrong boxers. That's hilarious. And yes, Tahir, it is crazy that the leaders do say that, right? They only accept gifts from fancy places. They won't accept like something from Walmart or TJ Maxx. Yep. God wants them to have the finest. That's what he needs.
I'm
He
at the point where I'm
requires
humbled.
it.
If somebody's gonna give me free shit, I'm gonna take it. And if I don't need it, I'll find somebody else who needs it.
That's right. All right, you guys, I've been alive for an hour. Keep tapping that screen. We should be in an hour with 40 people here, easily 40,000 likes. Okay, we're at 14,000. So start tapping the screen. If in the next 15 minutes we're not at 25,000, I'm going to turn off the comments till we get there. Okay, I hate doing it, but you guys don't. You got to tap for me just like you tap for everybody else, all right? And don't forget, share out the live. My gift goal today is the hand hearts. If you can, send up a hand heart. If you can't, send up roses. Send up gifts to my esteemed colleagues, if you will, because all of that helps boost us into the algorithm. But one of the most important things is if you go up to the top, hit that little heart next to my name, send me a heart me, make a comment, and share out the live, and then go back up and claim all your points for doing that. And that boosts me in the team rankings. And yeah, we want to do that because that's how they help push you up into the algorithm. All right.
Crystal,
Yes.
do you want me to be your commercial person? Ask
Yes.
Cornigan.
All right. Yes, I would love that. I hate doing the commercials for myself. I'm actually going to record one pretty soon because I do get tired of doing it. I'll tell you, like, hey, can you do me a commercial?
Sure, anytime you want,
All right.
Crystal, I will do
Awesome.
a commercial for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, let's get to the ordination of the priests. Now, this is what you shall do to them to consecrate them so that they may serve me as priests. Take one young bull and 2 rams without blemish and unleavened bread, unleavened cakes mixed with oil, and unleavened wafers spread with oil. You shall make them of choice wheat flour. You shall put them in one basket and bring them in the basket and bring the bull and the 2 rams. You shall bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance of the tent of meeting and wash them with water. Then you shall take the vestments and put on Aaron the tunic and the robe of the ephod and the breastpiece, and gird him with the decorated band of the ephod, and you shall set the turban on his head and put the holy diadem on the turban. You shall take the anointing oil and pour it on his head and anoint him. Then you shall bring his sons and put tunics on them, and you shall gird them with the sashes and tie headdresses on them, and the priesthood shall be theirs by a perpetual ordinance. You shall then ordain Aaron and his sons. Any questions or commentaries here? This just all sounds like stupidity to me. I can't take any of this serious. You shall do this stupid ritual.
The unleavened bread gives me like nightmares because in Alaska we're raised on pilot bread back in the 80s and early 90s. Do you guys know what pilot bread is?
No, what is that?
Imagine like a giant cracker that's like a quarter to a half inch thick of just a saltine cracker that's thick with no salt, no flavor whatsoever. And you can buy them in boxes. So everybody has them up here in Alaska because it stores really well. So they would make us eat these giant crackers with peanut butter on them. It was the driest thing. I seriously think they were trying to unalive us if we didn't have, because we didn't have fluid half the time.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to add you as a moderator, Spicy, but I have to take somebody off my moderators list, and I'm sure I have mods that don't even watch me anymore, so I'll do that later, and then I'll add you as a moderator.
I'll show you. Hang on a second. I got my box of 28 holes. Hang on.
Okay.
Spicy, that comment sent me.
What one?
The Holy Spirit tapping Mary.
I don't know where I got that. I got that from some live, and it must have been.
It was probably me because I say that often.
Oh my god!
I don't know who, but it was
funny.
too funny to not steal.
Yeah, but that is what we grew up on in Alaska.
I have
Oh
my
my
son
God.
send me 2 boxes every year. This is my Christmas present.
Oh my
2
God.
boxes every year because I need it. I have to have it. But yeah, they're exactly how she's describing them. Just great big, huge crackers with no salt and
Crazy.
yeah, we put all kinds of stuff on them, like salmon spread and peanut butter and
Cream cheese.
I like to toast them and put a little butter on them because it makes them crunchy and yummy. Cream cheese, yes. But they're like the
That's
Alaskan
cool.
version of a bagel.
Pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
That's hilarious that
All
you
right.
still have those.
So, I have a question.
I will send them to you gladly.
There you go. Now you have a source for more. Okay. We're back to normal YouTube. Sorry about that. Okay. Tahir wanted to know if there was a reason for any of these. So I'm going to go to the Torah and my Jewish Study Bible and read their explanation for these things. Okay. This ceremony consists of 6 parts: washing, robing, and anointing the priest, and 3 sacrifices. The 3 elements that are unique to priests: robing with the vestments, anointing with holy oil, and the ordination sacrifice, constitute their consecration. The other parts, washing and the first 2 sacrifices, are preparatory. The performance of the ceremony is narrated in Leviticus chapters 8 and 9, Exodus 40, 12 through 16. Present them before the Lord, probably before the altar. entrance of the tent of meeting, the courtyard in front of the tent. Wash them with water as part of the process of purification. For the vestments, see chapter 28. Only those that have the ceremonial significance are mentioned here. That the priest would put on their breeches goes without saying. 7. Anointing oil. 22 through 33. Anoint. 28:41. The purification offering. Hebrew. I can't speak Hebrew well, so I'll do my best. Hatat. For this translation rather than sin offering. Follows the procedures prescribed in Leviticus chapter 4, Numbers 15, 22 through 31. On the purpose of this type of offering, see introductory notes to Leviticus 4, 1 through 5. So far, nothing is helping me here. Here, the altar is purified either from impurities stemming from its builders and the donors of its materials, or since purification offerings normally purge impurities stemming from the individuals who bring them, from the priests. Lay their hands upon the head of the bull. The meaning of the act is uncertain. It may identify Aaron and his sons as the ones on whose behalf the sacrifice is being made. For another view, see Leviticus 1:4. 12 says, take some of the bull's blood and put it on the horns of the altar. The animal's blood serves as a purifying agent, the detergent in purification offerings. Okay, isn't it weird that they think the blood is purifying when we know in reality that that's leaving things open to all kinds of diseases by putting blood on there and having people touch it.
Could you
Once
imagine?
again,
Okay.
man-made.
Yeah. Could you imagine the smell?
Oh, no. How horrible. I've talked about this before. Okay, so I don't know how you guys thought sacrifices and stuff work, but when I was younger and we would read these, it never dawned on me that the priest got to eat all this. Like that they ate the sacrifices and that they, so it never dawned on me. Like I just thought they were doing it and then they burnt it up. Did that make sense? Like they killed the animal, they burnt it, and the burnt was the offering, but they actually ate it. And if you've ever, I think AK and I have talked about this before. If you've ever been to a town that has a slaughterhouse, the entire town smells. You can smell it while you're driving into the town. Yeah. And the temple was bloody. It was a butcher house. So this is a very smelly place for sure. It's so stinky.
Can I tell a quick little story? My grandparents
absolutely.
moved to New York from Vermont when I was 10 or 11, maybe 12. And their new place was built on a slaughterhouse. And I had nightmares for years of animals screaming through the night. And I could not sleep until every bone that they could find was found and taken and thrown away, and then I could finally sleep.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
So bad.
That sounds horrible. I don't know if that answered your question, Ty, here, but it does seem to be that most of it was a purification ritual, and really nothing more. Okay, you shall bring the bull in front of the tent of meeting. Aaron and his son shall lay their hands on the head of the bull. Now, remember, we just read this. We don't know why they're doing this, other than maybe it signifies that they are the ones the bull is sacrificed for. And you shall slaughter the bull before the Lord at the entrance of the tent and meeting, and shall take some of the blood of the bull and put it on the horns of the altar with your finger. And all the rest of the blood you shall pour out of the base of the altar. You shall take all the fat that covers the entrails and the appendages of the liver and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them, and turn them into smoke on the altar. But the flesh of the bull and its skin and its dung you shall burn with fire outside the camp. It is a sin offering. So now we have a sin offering too. It's transferring the sin from the people to the animal. Okay, Thinker says that it's transferring the sin from the people to the animal. That makes sense. But what do you know why they grabbed so you're saying when they grabbed the horns, that's what that was, Thinker? It was transferring their sins to the animal? Then you shall take one of the rams, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the ram, and you shall slaughter the ram, and shall take its blood and dash it against all sides of the altar. Then you shall cut the ram into parts and wash its entrails and its legs and put them with its parts and its head, and turn the whole ram into smoke on the altar. It is a burnt offering to the Lord. It is a pleasing odor, an offering by fire to the Lord. By the way, I do like to bring that up to Christians when we're out there in the mean streets of TikTok, that God loves the smell of burning flesh. He likes it. And this is one of the verses. It's not only the time it says it either. Sorry, I have to make notes in my Bible now because I hadn't been doing that while we were doing these Bible studies. And then sometimes I want to go back to something I realize, I should have made a note there. All right. Any questions or commentary so far? All righty. Moving right along. You shall take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the ram, and you shall slaughter the ram and take some of its blood and put it on the lobe of Aaron's right ear and on the lobes of the right ears of his sons and on the thumbs of their right hands and on the big toes of their right feet. Oh my God, this sounds so dumb. And dash the rest of the blood against all sides of the altar. Then you shall take some of the blood that is on the altar and some of the anointing oil and sprinkle it on Aaron and his vestments and on his sons and his sons' vestments with him. Then he and his vestments shall be holy as well as his sons and his sons' vestments. You know, when I'm reading things like this, I picture ancient tribes and the rituals they have. And let me tell you something. When I picture any other ancient tribes, any tribes at all, they have rituals that differ from what I would do or whatever. Most of the time I just think, oh, like, that's cool. That's what they did. I try to understand it from their point of view. But the fact that people still believe this to this day is the part that makes me go, this is so dumb. Because, like, I get it, you believed it thousands of years ago. But the fact that people still believe it is just wild to me, you know? All right. I wanted to look up something here. Go on.
Oh, I was just going to say, it baffles me that people still believe it, like, completely and utterly.
Yeah.
I feel like they've almost gotten crazy, like almost crazier with it.
Yeah, they did. Heretical. All right. I have to drive and head out to a class.
Okay.
So if you can boop me for your
All right. Thank you, Spicy. And I will make you a mod later, okay? Thank you for coming up, Spicy. Appreciate you. All right. I want to read something about this. Okay. So the ordination offering, this is the most elaborate offering, completing the priest's consecration by further anointment and then ordaining them. It follows the procedure for offering sheep as sacrifices of well-being, with modifications specific to this occasion. As the case of applying blood to the horns of the altar, vulnerable extremities of the priest, representing their entire bodies, are daubed with blood, apparently to purge them of impurity. That's what I wanted to know. Vulnerable extremities of the priest. So the thumb, the lobe, the big toe. I never thought of my earlobe as a vulnerable extremity. Did you guys think that? Like,
no.
That's weird to me, but I get the toe.
Yeah, the toe, because you stub them all the time.
Yes. Dash the rest of the blood against every side of the altar, a standard procedure in sacrifice. The mixture of blood from the altar and anointing oil makes the priests and their garments holy. The anointing oil, because that is its function, and the blood, because being on the altar has made it holy and capable of transmitting holiness to anything it touches. That just is really blood magic, really. I think these are the same places they are anointed when appointed to. I think so too, Thinker. I think you're right. All right. Wait, what did I do? I read 19 through 21. All right. Anything else there? If not, I'm moving on.
Nope.
Thinker, if you want to come up, you know you're always welcome up. I hope I don't have to tell you that. You shall also take the fat of the ram, the fat tail, the fat that covered the entrails, the appendage of the liver, the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them, and the right thigh, for it is a ram of ordination, and 1 loaf of bread, 1 cake of bread made with oil, and 1 wafer out of the basket of unleavened bread that is before the Lord. And you shall place all these on the palms of Aaron and on the palms of his sons, and raise them as an elevation offering before the Lord. Then you shall take them from their hands and turn them into smoke on the altar on the top of the burnt offerings of pleasing odor before the Lord. It is an offering by fire to the Lord. So I'm like, yeah, that's funny, huh? The right thigh. Now I have to look that up. Why?
Right thigh.
I think that, like, this is my guess. Okay, I haven't looked yet. Would it have something to do with the way that we, well, not we, but they did vows back then by placing a hand on the thigh? Literally, testament means testicles, like, because men used to grab each other by the testicle. But in the Bible, they always say, like, right thigh. Like, I don't know. That's just, like, they seem like they might have something to do with each other. So let's see. That was verse.
Wait, hold on. They grabbed each other by the testicles?
Yeah, that's where the word testament comes from.
I had no idea.
Old Testament and New Testament.
That makes
means
sense
testicles.
now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Not the real one.
The real one. You crack me up. Okay. And you shall place these in the pole. Okay, where's the thigh? Okay, the thigh is in 22. I'm sorry. I'm trying to see. The fat part of the sacrifice of well-being are burnt in the altar as prescribed. And the right thigh, for this is a ram of ordination. The right thigh of a sacrifice of well-being is normally given to the officiating priest. Testimony comes from the word testicles. Testament, testicles, testimony, all derived from the same word. And it was because that's how they did it back then. That's why you'll see them say he put his hand under his thigh or what have you, or like they'll say it in the Bible.
So that's where the song, I put my hand upon your hip, when I dip, you dip, we dip. That makes sense.
Okay. So I don't know. Maybe Thinker knows why. Maybe Thinker knows why it's a right thigh, but I don't know. But there's so many weird little things in here. Wait, you guys don't think that the testament and testicle things is true? I'll look it up for you. I promise you this is true. Okay, the word testament, testicle, and testify share a common root in the Latin word testes, which means witness. This etymology connection reflects the notion of bearing witness or giving evidence, while testis also refers to a testicle. The connection to witnessing and giving testimony is primary. So they all derive from the same thing. And if you read in the Bible, let me see if I can find one. Bible verse. Let me see if I can find one. Genesis 24, 2 through 9.
Oh God, I can't wait to send this to my mom. This is going to be so great.
Let me find it for you here.
Am I petty? Absolutely.
Okay, Abraham said to his servant, the oldest of his house, who had charge of all that he had, put your hand under my thigh, and I will make you swear by the Lord.
Dirty. Scandalous.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Wait, what verse was that? Genesis what?
24, 2 through 9.
Perfect.
Well, I didn't
Thank
even
you.
read it all that far, but
That's-
it's
you-
far enough.
You gave us the gist. That's all we needed.
Yeah. Okay.
Protect the integrity of the live.
Damn.
Good morning, Joyful. Okay. You shall, okay, let's see. We're on 26 now. You shall take the breast of the ram of Aaron's ordination and raise it as an elevation offering before the Lord, and it shall be your portion. You shall consecrate the breast that was raised as an elevation offering, and the thigh that was raised as an elevation offering from the ram of ordination, from that which belonged to Aaron and his sons. These things shall be a perpetual ordinance for Aaron and his sons from the Israelites. For this is an offering, and it shall be an offering by the Israelites from their sacrifice of offerings of well-being, their offering to the Lord. That just sounded like just a bunch of word salad to me. Like offering, and it was an offering, and it was elevated. I'm elevated too. What does that have to do with anything? I don't know.
Life
This
is better
just
when you're
ridiculous.
elevated.
It is. It really is. Okay, I'm moving on because this is just so much. It is, right? Open book, so much offerings. Okay, the sacred vestments of Aaron shall be passed on to his sons after him. They shall be anointed in them and ordained in them. The son who is priest in his place shall wear them 7 days when he comes into the tent of meeting to minister to the holy place. I have a question though, like, if they're re-wearing these or other people are wearing these or whatever, are we washing them in between? It's got like blood and oil all over it. Like, what are we doing? Like, you're traumatized, Joseph.
Like, not even just the blood and the oil. Think about the famunda. Ew.
Yeah.
Sorry. Dusty,
No, it's true.
crusty, gross.
Yeah, we're
insane.
praying over it. Thoughts and prayers to these robes. Here, you put them on now. Okay.
Thoughts and
You shall
prayers.
take thoughts and prayers. You shall take the ram of ordination and boil its flesh in a holy place, and Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram and the bread that is in the basket at the entrance of the tent of meeting. They themselves shall eat the food by which atonement is made, to ordain and consecrate them. But no one else shall eat of them, because they are holy. If any of the flesh for the ordination or of the bread remains until the morning, then you shall burn the remainder with fire. It shall not be eaten, because it is holy. Okay, this is what I really picture in my head. Okay, me and AK are like, hey, let's start a church so that we could get people to like pay for our lives and we can eat the finest foods and stuff. And we're like, okay, what should we do? Well, let's make them bring us the finest, the finest steaks and stuff. How do we do that? Tell them it's going to be a burnt offering, but we'll keep all the good stuff and you and I eat it. Plus, we can get them to pay for our fancy robes that we'll wear when we're doing it. All we have to do is do some kind of weird ritual and they'll fall for it.
I like
Sounds
this
like
idea.
yeah.
I mean, let's be real. L. Ron Hubbard was onto something when he said, if you want to make money, create a religion. Let's be real.
Yeah, it's
Right.
true. It's true. Brie and roasted garlic with it. Yeah, and then you know what we'll do? When we're done eating, when we get full AK, we'll burn everything so that nobody else can have any.
Yeah. They're like,
Because
"Haha,
we're
just on
assholes.
you." There's so much left of that charcuterie board. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not for you. We have to burn it. It's holy.
And you know
Okay.
they're eating it in front of people while the starving are just staring at them. And then they're just like, oh, I'm full. Let's just burn it all. Like,
Yeah.
so messed up.
Kind of like when churches today, everybody comes in, they bring their offering, and after church, the pastor, his wife, and their family all go out for a fancy lunch that you just paid for through your tithes and offerings, while you go home and try to put together a bologna sandwich or eat some top ramen. The Midrash says it's because force is applied with the thumb, and it's the place of connection. Ooh.
Interesting.
Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Burn it all, Granny says. Okay, thus you shall do to Aaron and to his sons, just as I have commanded you. Through 7 days you shall ordain them. Also, every day you shall offer a bull as a sin offering for atonement. Also, you shall offer a sin offering for the altar when you make atonement for it, and shall anoint it to consecrate it. 7 days you shall make atonement for the altar and consecrate it, and the altar shall be most holy. Whatever touches the altar shall become holy. So if I just walked up and snuck in and touched the altar, and I didn't do all the other things that God said you had to do before you entered there, would I be made holy, or would it be like a sin that I even did it in the first place?
Oh, don't you get yeeted? Or am I thinking of something else?
Oh, maybe I do. I mean, as a woman, I'd probably get unalived just trying.
I know. They throw you on the altar instead.
Yeah.
This makes me, like, the whole thumb thing just totally, I typed it in there, totally just dawned on me as to, like, remember how offended people would get in the medieval times when somebody thumbed their nose at them?
Yes.
So that makes...
My mom used to go like this to you, which I guess also means...
Yes. Yep.
Because she liked it better than the middle finger. She thought it was more subtle or something. I don't know. My mom was a weirdo. Okay, now this is what you shall offer on the altar: 2 lambs a year old, regularly each day. Two lambs a year old. I can't talk. Okay, 2 lambs a year old each is what I'm trying to say here. Okay, regularly each day. 1 lamb you shall offer in the morning, and the other lamb you shall offer in the evening. God, that's a lot. Like, when you think about that, like, that's just a lot to offer every day. Okay, anyway. 1 lamb you shall offer in the morning, 1 lamb you shall offer in the evening, and with the first lamb, 1/10 of a measure of choice flour mixed with 1/4 of a hin of beaten oil, and 1/4 of a hin of wine for drink offering. And the other lamb you shall offer in the evening, and shall offer with it a grain offering and its drink offering, as in the morning for a pleasing odor, an offering by fire to the Lord. It shall be a regular burnt offering throughout your generations at the entrance of the tent of meeting before the Lord, where I will meet with you to speak to you there. I will meet with the Israelites there, and it shall be sanctified by my glory. I will consecrate the tent of meeting and the altar. Aaron also and his sons I will consecrate to serve me as priests. I will dwell among the Israelites, and I will be their God. And they shall know that I am the Lord their God, who brought them out of the land of Egypt, and I might dwell among them. I am the Lord their God. A couple of things here come to mind. One is, when we're doing our church AK, we find a recipe that you and I dig, like birria tacos, okay? And then we go, when you're doing the offering, you're going to put it in a crock pot. And then we give them the recipe, but we tell them that what they're doing is just doing a sacrifice ritual to us.
Exactly. And
to God.
And we could cover the tacos, and then I could do smoked salmon, because that's a little bit, you know, then we got all aspects covered.
Right, exactly. And then make sure we have wine to drink too. So we want a little Pinot Grigio or something to go with
a really
drink
good
offering.
25-year-old age sipping whiskey would be a necessity, I believe.
Yeah, that would be good too.
Or $50,000 cognac.
Yeah, the one thing that bothers me on a regular basis with this God is something that he does that, and I say moms, probably there's dads who are good at it too, but there's a lot of guilt trip moms. You know what I'm saying? Like, they do one thing for you, and then they never let you forget that thing. Like, I gave birth to you. Whatever, you know? Like, they'll be like, remember? I gave birth to you, so I think you should do this for me or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? So when I see this in here, him saying again, because I am the God who brought you out of Egypt, it's like he throws that in their face constantly. You're going to do all these things because I brought you out of... Dude, you put us in there too. Do you forget that?
Well,
It's like telling your mom, you got laid, mom, and got pregnant. You did that.
yeah, I created you. I've provided for you. You've just been whiny. Because it was like when he got pissed off when the people were crying about having to eat the manna all the time. They're like, well, look what I've provided for you. Yeah, it's just...
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, you provided the bare minimum. Thanks.
Exactly. I don't know. It just always bothered me. Hey, Trisha, how are you this morning? Good to have you here. Okay. You shall make an altar. Oh, this is chapter 30, y'all. We're on chapter 30, the altar of incense. You shall make an altar on which to offer incense. You shall make it of acacia wood. It shall be 1 cubit long and 1 cubit wide. It shall be square and it shall be 2 cubits high. Its horns shall be of one piece with it. You shall overlay it with pure gold, its top and its sides all around and its horns. And you shall make for it a molding of gold all around. And you shall make 2 golden rings for it under its molding on 2 opposite sides of it. You shall make them. And they shall hold the poles with which to carry it. You shall make the poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. You shall place it in front of the curtain that is above the ark of the covenant, in front of the mercy seat that is over the covenant, where I will meet with you. Aaron shall offer fragrant incense on it every morning. When he dresses the lamps, he shall offer it. And when Aaron sets up the lamps in the evening, he shall offer it, a regular incense offering before the Lord throughout our generations. You shall not offer unholy incense on it, or burnt offering, or a grain offering, and you shall not pour a drink offering on it. Once a year, Aaron shall perform the rite of atonement on its horns. Throughout your generations, he shall perform the atonement for it once a year with the blood of the atoning sin sacrifice. It is most holy to the Lord.
Doesn't it seem like in the beginning of the book, he starts out with, he had a lot of requests, but they weren't as intricate and as expensive. And then it's like the people appeased. So then they got more intricate, more expensive. The people appeased. And now we're up at gold and all of these different, it almost seemed like it was a test. Like how let's see how far these people will go. And they just kept going and going.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that it's verse by verse like that. I don't know. These just sound like things that men would say. It just doesn't seem like a God would care about these things. It doesn't seem... Well, I just can't imagine.
Yeah, like an all-powerful God. Why does he need gold? Why does he need jewels? Why does he need all the... it just does not... Why does he require all of this luxury would be the best way to...
Yeah. Opulence. Yeah.
A couple things.
Acacia wood is plausible.
Sorry, I took a cough drop, so my voice came back for a minute.
Oh, good.
It's funny because in the Bible, there's a lot of focus on gold. I think they thought gold was the most precious element back then, but today it's not. There's other more precious elements. So you can tell it's fucking man-made just by the fact that they didn't even know that gold wasn't the most important thing. So when it says heaven is streets of gold, all the altars are made of gold, don't worship golden idols, it's that's not even the most precious element anymore. So that's outdated.
No.
And God would know that. God would have known that.
Right? Exactly.
Also, I saw another thing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I saw another thing that said, I saw somebody mention this, that capitalism is a big push from Christianity, and that's why we see the biggest churches thriving are the mega churches. And the point is give us your last penny. The woman with the 2 rich men, she gave everything she had, and they kind of show that that's better than just being rich and giving a little bit. And then what they kind of do is they kind of say don't want for things, don't long for things. When you get to when you get to heaven, that's when you get to experience luxury. That's when you get to experience gold and jewels and fine clothes and feast. So it's kind of telling people, like, it's kind of saying capitalism, keep the poor poor, and then don't worry, you'll get what the billionaires are getting, but you'll just get that in the afterlife as long as you stay humble. So it kind of keeps people oppressed.
Because my mom always made comments like, if you do this, you get another jewel in your crown in heaven. That is something that she still to this day. I'm like, so you're waging your good deeds here just so you can have, wealth in the afterlife. I'm like, that means that you are not a legit person. Like, you're fake.
And if you notice, though, that is very much a New Testament thing. Jesus really weakened Yahweh when he came, because when Yahweh was here, Yahweh promised his people riches. He even told them, like, when you leave Egypt, I'm going to make sure you're going to be oppressed for 400 years, but afterwards you're going to be fine. And what did he do? He convinced the Egyptians, in the story, obviously, to give the Israelite things as they left. And so they had riches when they left. God, increased people's land. He increased their wealth in the Old Testament. It's not until the New Testament that Jesus is like, no, store up things for the afterlife, man. I can't give you anything right now. I'm not really God. What are you talking about? I can't help you. So
I'm just pretending to be God.
Yeah, exactly. But afterwards, I promise you, I got you in the afterlife.
Pinky swear, I got
all
you
the way.
in the afterlife, guys. Come on,
trust me, bro.
The biggest trust me, bro. Was not ready to say that.
My
it's
favorite
the biggest
part
trust
is,
me, bro.
There's a verse with Jesus. I need to look it up. Basically, the Pharisees were like, dude, you're going against God's old laws. You're gonna have to prove to us you're God, because we're not about to get like Sodom and Gomorrah up in here because you're pretending. And Jesus goes, you wicked and adulterous nation, how dare you ask me to perform magic? And I'm like, damn, Jesus, just admit it, you're a fraud. You can't do shit.
Right?
And he was just calling names because he knew he couldn't do anything.
That's what I would say too, though, right? Like, if so I'm trying to scam a bunch of people and then they're calling me out, I'm going to be like, how dare you? You know what I mean? I was telling this story the other day. One time I was at a poker tournament, and when I was playing poker, I was very nervous, but you obviously don't want people to know you're nervous. You're playing poker, right? So everything you do, everything you say, even, I don't know if any of you play poker, every movement you do when you're in a poker tournament has to be calculated, even what you're wearing, how you're sitting, it's all calculated. Like, you don't want to wear reflective glasses because people can then see your cards in your glasses. There's little things like you have to think of when you're playing a poker tournament. And one of them is not letting people know that you're a moron and you don't know what you're doing. You need to play that off. You can't let them know you're a moron, okay? And so one time I was the big blinds, and it checked around to me, and I told this yesterday, if you don't know what big blinds are, it means that you have to put the largest amount of money in before the hand is dealt. Everybody gets a turn at being small blinds and big blinds. So let's say it was $200. So you're going to drop $200 in at the start. Everybody checked around. That means nobody raised the bet or bet. They all just said, okay, let's see what the next hand card is, right? So it comes to me. I should check because I'm the one who put the money in. But I was stupid. I folded because I had a really shitty hand, okay? And everybody even turned to me and said, you're the big blinds, you should be checking. And right away, I have to think, I do not want anybody to know I'm a moron. I cannot let them know that I'm so stupid that I just did that. So I just went, no, I never bet this hand. That's really bad. Like juju or something.
Life is all about making it look like you know what you're talking about.
Right. I did go on to win that tournament, so just saying, you have to play. I didn't. They didn't think I was an idiot.
They're literally going to use your tactic as like a playing mechanism now. Just so you know, you're like going in the history books for them. That's awesome.
That's so funny. Okay.
You remind me of that one race car driver. They ended up banning this move after this one race car driver was doing it. But he ended up doing like an old GTA trick where he like plowed the car into the wall and he's like, I'm gonna put it until I either see the checkered flag or God, because he was trying to.
Wow.
Yeah, that just like reminds me, like, we're just gonna pin it to win it, and we're gonna ride this poker thing out. How dare you call my bluff, motherfucker?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, the half shekel for the sanctuary. The Lord spoke to Moses, when you take a census of the Israelites to register them, at registration, all of them shall give a ransom for their lives to the Lord, so that no plague may come upon them for being registered. Okay, I'm going to stop us right there on this one. So, AK and I, we have this church, and we're going to tell people, you all have to bring us money. It's the ransom you're paying, or I'll put a plague on you. Like, it just sounds like mobsters, right? Here, you're going to pay for protection against me. You're going to pay me to protect you from me.
And I'm going to come around once a week.
Yeah.
And I like giving spankings. Sorry.
Okay, they might like that. I don't know. Like, they might be into that.
That's supposed to be an inside thought.
Good morning, Deborah. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. I've been listening for a little bit, and I just wanted to say, you remember when that woman gave those last 2 mites?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. She was described, I believe, in the story as an old widow. Technically, she should have been a recipient of the tithes, not giving them.
Right? I think that you're the first person I really heard point that out one day. I was listening to you on a panel or on your live. I can't remember. But when you pointed that out, I was like, oh my God. According to the Bible, the tithes and stuff that we take in is to feed the widows and the orphans.
Yep.
And they're bragging about taking this widow's last 2 mites or whatever. And instead, they should have been like, no, you keep that. You're a good person, but come on, come with us. Let us feed you. And they didn't do that in the story at all.
Well, and neither did Jesus call it out.
No.
He should have known
didn't.
better. Somebody who is the law, who is the one bringing the law, who is the word became flesh, quote unquote. He should have been calling that out, and he didn't. And that irks me every time I hear that story. Whether I'm like flipping channels and hear a pastor talk about it, or you see a clip of them passing the offering plates. I'm just like, you guys, context matters.
Yeah, absolutely. It does. Yeah, this just reminds me of some kind of mobster mentality. Okay, this is what each one who is registered shall give, half a shekel according to the shekel of the sanctuary. The shekel is 20 gerahs. Half a shekel is an offering to the Lord. Now, what they did was a shekel is a weight. It is a measurement in weight, okay? So it's not a denomination like a quarter. It actually weighed a specific amount. So the temple had a perfectly weighed out shekel. So when you brought in your half shekel, it had to weigh exactly half the temple shekel. Does that make sense to everybody?
It does. I have a question off of that. So in the New Testament, with Judas, was it 30 shekels of silver, or was it 30 pieces of silver?
On Judas, I think it's 30 pieces. Let me check. Let me double check that. But there are times where they talk about 30 shekels, and that is a weight.
I wonder what that would correspond to wealth in today's thing, too. Sorry, my nerd brain.
You can Google it. It'll tell you how much a shekel weighs in ounces, and then you find out, like, how much that is in today's market value. I'm pretty sure it's pieces. So it says Matthew 26:15. Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and said, "What will you give me if I deliver him over to you?" And they weighed out 30 pieces of silver. So they did weigh it.
Interesting.
So they did weigh it. It could mean that it was a shekel because they did it by weight. All right. This is what each of you who is registered shall get, half a shekel. Okay, half a shekel is offering. Each one who is registered from 20 years old and upward shall give the Lord's offering. Okay, now that's interesting to me, because why 20 years or older? Is that when you are financially responsible? Do you think
That may have
because
been when they thought that somebody was fully matured in their mind.
yeah, I want to know more about that now,
Interesting.
because we get to hear from Christians all the time about age of accountability and so forth. So I would like to know why they picked 20 years right there. The rich shall not give more, and the poor shall not give less than the half shekel. That's some fucked up shit right there. So you're rich, you can afford more. You don't have to pay more. You're poor, you can't afford this. You still have to pay it.
Wait, are we sure that this is being written in the Bible and not modern times? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right? When you bring this offering to the Lord to make atonement for your lives, you shall take the atonement money from the Israelites and shall designate it for the service of the tent of meeting before the Lord. It will be a reminder to the Israelites of the ransom given for your lives. I recently heard something where, I want to say that it was one of our creators, but I can't remember who. They were talking about how the churches always have a perpetual building fund that they always are trying to get you to donate to. Have you ever? Every church has a building fund.
Freaking church.
It's so weird. Okay, the bronze basin. The Lord spoke to Moses, "You shall make a bronze basin with a bronze stand for washing. You shall put it between the tent of meeting and the altar, and you shall put water in it. With the water, Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet when they go into the tent of meeting, or when they come near the altar to minister, to make an offering by fire to the Lord. They shall wash with water so that they may not die. They shall wash their hands and their feet so that they may not die. It shall be a perpetual ordinance for them, for him, and for his descendants throughout their generations." He likes to threaten them, huh?
Sounds like he learned about germs. I'm just kidding.
It does sound like they learned about germs, but I think this is wash your hands or I'm going to kill you, not wash your hands or the germs are going to kill you.
Facts.
The Lord spoke to Moses. You know, maybe that's how we could have handled it with our kids. Gosh, I should have told them, you will wash your hands before dinner or you will die. Maybe they would have washed their hands before dinner.
Well, I don't know. Or you could have the daughter like mine, where in kindergarten they go through with a black light and they show you the dirt on your hands. And my daughter became so OCD because she thought she had germs on her hands so bad that she was washing her hands till they were bleeding. And so I had to go have a talk with the nurse. I'm like, listen, you guys can't do that. Like, because they also do the same thing with teeth, with brushing your teeth, and they'll show a black light on the kids' teeth and make them go brush their teeth and then come back and do it again in the school. And some of the kids were brushing so hard that they were like, their gums were bleeding.
My son also had OCD with washing his hands, but it was before he ever got into school. And I didn't know that he, like, I wasn't really, I knew he washed his hands a lot, but it didn't really dawn on me how much he was washing his hands. And then he started to get like a rash on his hands. So I took him to the doctor, and the doctor goes, "Do you make him wash the dishes?" I was like, "What?" No, he was like 3. Okay. Like, no. And she goes, "Really? Because this is dishpan hands." And I'm like, "Oh, I have a question. if you wash your hands with dish soap all the time, would that do that to your hands? And she was like, yeah, you shouldn't use dish soap. I didn't know that. He was washing his hands so much that I started sometimes putting dish soap in his little soft soap thing because he would run out. And so if all I had was dish soap and he would be like, I'm out of soap, Mom, I would just go put a little dish soap in there. So he was getting dish hands from washing his hands so much with dish soap.
I've never
But they
even
thought
heard
it
of
was
dish pan hands. I've never heard of that
Yeah,
before.
it's actually, I think that modern times we don't call it dishpan hands, we call it dermatitis and things like that. You know,
Yeah.
I guess it was a fair question because I realized there are parents that would make their 3-year-old wash dishes. It's just so abusive.
Yeah.
And I forget they have to deal
it's
with it.
mind-boggling because it's not something that, you know, I hate to use the word normal because, I mean, honestly, what is normal? But what I would say a typical parent would not be making their 3-year-old scrub dishes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Where did I leave off? Did I am I at 22? Where am I at? You guys know the Lord spoke to Moses, take the finest pieces of liquid myrrh. Nope, this is where I am right now. The Lord spoke to Moses, take the finest pieces of liquid myrrh, 500 shekels, and of sweet smelling cinnamon, half as much. That is 250, and 250 of aromatic cane, and 500 of cassia, measured by the sanctuary shekel, and a thin of olive oil. And you shall make of these a sacred anointing oil blended as by the perfumer. It shall be a holy anointing oil. With it you shall anoint the tent of meeting and the ark of the covenant and the table and all its utensils and the lampstand and its utensils and the altar of incense and the altar of burnt offerings with all its utensils and the basin with its stand. You shall consecrate them so that they may be most holy. Whatever touches them will become holy. You shall anoint Aaron and his sons and consecrate them in order that they may serve me as priests. You shall say to the Israelites, this shall be my holy anointing oil throughout your generations. It shall not be used in any ordinary anointing of the body, and you shall make no other like it in composition. It is holy, and it shall be holy to you. Whoever compounds any like it, or whoever puts any of it on an unqualified person shall be cut off from the people. The Lord said to Moses, take sweet spices, stacte, and onycha, and galbanum, sweet spices with pure frankincense, an equal part of each, and make an incense blended as by the perfumer, seasoned with salt, pure and holy. And you shall beat some of it into powder, and put part of it before the covenant in the tent of meeting, where I shall meet with you. It shall be for you most holy. When you make incense according to this composition, you shall not make it for yourselves. It shall be regarded by you as holy to the Lord. Whoever makes any like it to use as perfume shall be cut off from the people.
Oh, that's great. So now all of the Levitical priests can smell good, and the rest of y'all, screw it. Yeah, forget it. Too bad, so sad.
Yeah. The priest get Chanel number 5. The rest of you go get some Axe body spray, because that's what you.
Right?
Hey, daughter.
Hello.
Did you have anything you wanted to add right now?
That the Bible is more confusing every time I hear y'all read something out of it. Like, we're over here making fucking perfume, and it sounds a lot like some witchcraft, but let a woman do it, and we're just sending them to the great beyond, because apparently you can't say that and what we're doing in alive apparently anymore. So, yeah.
No. Well, I think I'm going to end it here today for Bible study. Let me tell you what I got coming up, because I've got some fun stuff coming up. But while I'm looking that up, Deborah, when are you going live again?
Probably Sunday around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
All right.
Eastern Standard Pacific.
I will be there.
Yeah, it's West Coast time.
Okay, that's what I needed to know so I could come and support.
Hi, best friend. I miss you.
Me? Yes, I miss you too.
You guys, if you're not following Deborah Grace, hey Spencer, how are you? If you're not following Deborah Grace, I really don't know why you would follow me and not her. She is brilliant. She wrote the book Crucifying the Bible, and her lives are, they're always just so educational. Like, I cannot stress that enough. I learn something new every single time she goes live. So make sure you're following Deborah Grace. Born Again Atheist, when do you go live again?
Let's see. I might get on today. I don't know. It depends how my throat's feeling, but definitely tomorrow.
All right.
I don't have a specific time. I'm sorry. I'm kind of
Oh, that's okay.
unorganized.
Born Again Atheist and I will be live together, though, June 3rd at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So she is going to be on Decon Q&A with CrystalJae. So you guys, make sure you're following Born Again. Make sure you're following me and join us June 3rd for Decon Q&A with CrystalJae. So you can come up and ask all the questions. Then
So
June
excited.
7th, I am too. I was so excited because I am so honored anytime any of you guys are on my show. I really am. And so I was
so
really
sweet. Your show's awesome.
Well, thank you. It's
Cheers.
just a little show, but I love doing it and I love getting to know you guys. On Saturday, June 7th, I have Decon Q&A at 1 p.m. with Dark Knight. And then the show on June 15th with Tahir and Garnet it's not June 15th. They were scheduled for this week or whatever, but we are rescheduling. I moved it right now temporarily to June 15th because it's actually to be determined. We don't know what date it is right now. So, you guys, I'm bringing you some great creators. If you have a creator that you would like me to have on my show, ask me, ask them, get us together somehow or whatever. If you are a creator and you want to be on Decon Q&A with CrystalJae, just send me a DM on TikTok or on Discord. I am booking right now, so make sure that you just send me a DM and we'll get you booked in. I need 3 hours of your time. So if you've got 3 hours that you can spare, join me. If you pretend to be a creator, Adrian, what if I told you that I really, really want to do one with a few people who are normally in chat? Would you come up and be on a panel and do a Decon Q&A? Because I do want to bring up some of the people who are normally in chat. And I'm also going to do a special one with people who are panelists, with people like Lawrence and Fee. Yay, you would, Adrian? Okay, I'm going to do one. And so I will hit you up on that. Okay. Anyway, you guys, thank you. Go ahead, Deborah.
Are you doing any of these Q&As on the weekend?
Oh, yeah, I do them around your schedule. Whatever your schedule is, we book around you because you guys are the creators. And so I just book around what you can do.
Cool.
So weekends, nights,
you.
mornings.
Awesome. I'll DM you, but I do have a suggestion.
Okay.
For somebody who's in chat. Otter.
Awesome. Oh, I would love to have Otter up. Oh, my God, I would love that so much. Hey, Chiquita. I love
I'll
Otter.
DM you.
Okay, awesome. That would be great.
Cool. I'd totally do it too if you ever wanted to, Crystal.
Awesome.
Someone else in the comments asked if you are going to do a Q&A for content creators.
Right, that was Adrian. And so I told him, like, I do want to do some with some of our chat regulars, and he said he'd do one with me if I do that. So that's awesome. You guys, thank you so much for being here. I will be live again on Thursday, tomorrow night with Joyful, except I'll probably be late and in and out. I feel like I've been kind of flaky with Joyful lately, and I don't mean to. I'm going through physical therapy right now. And then if Doug is home on a Monday, I always think it's still Sunday because I'm not used to him being home on a Monday. So I end up blowing off Joyful sometimes. But this Monday, I literally was buying a car. And you know how you get stuck at the dealership. I tried to get home on time to be on the show, and I just didn't make it. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for all the gifts, the shares, the likes, and thank you for 100 subbies. I do have some subscriber only lives coming up, so be looking out for those. I want to see, everybody had so much fun with I Am His Pastor that I was thinking of talking to Skits Loves God and seeing if we couldn't do a decon Q&A with him for subscribers only. So I'll let you know if that happens. All right, everybody, you guys have a great day. I will see you around the mean streets of TikTok. Goodbye, TikTok. Goodbye, YouTube. Have a great day, everybody.
Love you.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.